everyone. Welcome back to Navigating Seasons with Sonia. Thank you for joining me for this episode. I have so much to share, and like I always say, I'm going to keep it real, raw, and uncut. So we just go get into it. Today, I want to share with you guys um, kidney disease and the symptoms related to kidney disease leading up to what I'm now in, which is kidney failure or ESRD, which is end stage renal disease or stage 4 kidney disease. So, the intention of this channel, this community, is for me to share, to bring awareness to you all around this disease. And I tell you, you can look up your own statistics. Like I always say, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a doctor, but I do a lot of research. I've been walking through this journey for some time now. So I know what it is. Okay, period, point blank. I don't like to throw out a lot of statistics and numbers and anything. I give you approximate so you can just kind of have an idea. But what I will share from my own experience and what I've heard from others' experience that are walking through this season dealing with CKD is the symptoms. So, if you were to look it up for yourself, do some research. There are so many people who go undiagnosed that are living with kidney disease and they don't even know it, y'all. Don't even know it. And it creeps up on you, and then out of nowhere, boom, you're in stage 3, you're in stage 4, somewhere around there, which is no fun. But the early stages, things you should always be mindful of and look out for is where it really starts is when you urinate and you have foamy urine in the toilet. I know some people, they just urinate, they don't even look in the toilet. Do what they got to do, don't even look in the toilet. Look in the toilet, y'all. Get in the habit of looking in the toilet, whether it's a number 1 or number 2. Look in the toilet. But if you have foamy urine where it looks like it's dishwashing liquid in your urine, that's a telltale sign that there's something going on with your kidneys. Okay, so that's one of the early indicators. Another thing is swelling. A lot of women be like, oh, I'm inflamed, I'm bloated, I'm this, I'm that. Inflammation in your feet and your ankles, when it starts coming up your body, your knees, if you notice puffiness in your hands, in your eyes, you guys. I know for me, I was like waking up in the morning and even throughout the day, my eyes would be really like swollen around my eyes. And then I started noticing even my elbows were like having inflammation. And then once it started coming up into my chest and into my breast and all of the things, it was like, okay, something ain't right. So that's another indication. Another one would be short of breath. If you have a hard time breathing, you get winded, like, and you ain't doing nothing. You don't walk from the front of the house to the back, not even going upstairs or from your car to your garage, anything like that that's really odd. And you notice you're short of breath, you got to sit down, you got to take a rest, you're tired, you're lethargic. If you are napping or you just don't seem to be rested and you're always tired, something is going on in your body. So you need to get that checked out. So those are some of the earlier signs of kidney disease. When you go and you get your lab work done, ask them for specific tests. Say, hey, can you run a test to test my kidneys? It's called EGFR, and then they also test your creatinine levels. You want to know what those levels are. And I know for me, when there was some decline in my kidneys, my doctor was like, oh, don't worry about it. It's not a conversation we need to have right now. You don't need to worry. And that's when they were like at 80%. And then it was going creeped on down to like 60 some percent. Oh, you don't need to worry about it. Don't worry. It's okay. You'll be fine. We'll just keep watching and monitoring and all these things. Well, you have to be an advocate for yourself and your health and say, well, why is this and what can I do? And a few things that you can't do is drink more water, drink cranberry juice, do all of those things because it's not going to work. What's happening in your kidneys is your nephron cells are essentially dying, and there's oxidative stress on your kidneys, and that comes from toxins in your diet, and there's toxins in everything that we consume, okay, you guys? So but there's more toxins in things that we really should not consume. A lot of processed food, fast foods, things that are high in fat, tons of butter and cream and milk and meat. Yes, meat. And you all know I'm vegan. And I've been vegan I just made my 12 years. However, even with being vegan, prior to becoming vegan, there was damage that was already done. Okay. And, and I didn't know about the overload of fluid. Having too much fluid puts a strain on your kidneys. It's like drowning them. And I essentially was drowning my kidneys trying to do everything that I thought was right for my health. I was drinking a gallon and a half of water. I'm working out like crazy, and that's great. You can work out like crazy, but where I was doing too much was with the fluids because my kidneys had already been compromised. So the overload of fluids from water, I would juice everything. I would go buy fresh pressed juice and juice. I prefer to drink things than to actually eat. Okay. I give me a smoothie, a fresh pressed juice, something like that. I'm good to go. That's my meal, but it was all fluids that I was putting that that stress on my kidneys that were already compromised. So my kidneys didn't know what to do with it. And then I would get my lab results, and they would say, "Oh, you're leaking protein into your bloodstream." Well, that was coming from the kidneys because they didn't know, they couldn't handle all of the fluid. Okay. Um, so those are things you really want to be mindful of. If you're constantly dry mouth or you can't seem to quench your thirst and you just want more, 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 that's an indication that something's not operating correctly in your body and you need to get that checked out. um, Urinating like crazy. I would always say, I gotta go pay my water bill. I gotta go pay my water bill, like all throughout the day. I mean, out with friends, traveling, whatever. I'm running back and forth to the restroom to pay my water bill like crazy because my kidneys, they were really having a rough time, you guys. And I'm like, what the heck? And even with urinating as frequently as I was retaining fluid. I got, my feet are swollen. I can't get my feet into my shoes, and I'm elevating my feet, my legs at night. Like, Lord, just help me, Lord, please. Um, but that wasn't cutting it. And then on top of that, you guys, I was going to the gym and I was getting in the jacuzzi and then the steam room and the sauna and all of that heat. That's, not good on your nerves, and it makes your blood try and pump the blood harder through your body. So that wasn't doing any good. One of the things I did find going through this journey is I pay attention. Well, I've been reading labels like crazy. If I do buy things off the shelf, like say for instance a salad dressing. Now, a salad dressing, you guys, has so much sodium for every 2 tablespoons, which is a serving size. If you multiply the amount of sodium, most salad dressings may have 170 milligrams, 300 milligrams of sodium per per serving. A serving is 2 tablespoons. The average person is not measuring out in a tablespoon, they just pouring on a salad. So you may think you're being healthy getting a salad, but then you load it up with all this salad dressing that's full of sodium. You got to watch the sodium. That causes hypertension. Hypertension affects your kidneys and causes kidney failure. So you need to be mindful of sodium. Fast food, ridiculous, outrageous. I was just looking at something that said, like, what was it, a six-piece chicken wings or something like that had 3,360 milligrams of sodium for six chicken wings. Most people eat more than six chicken wings. Then you add the fries on top of that. Then where you at? So pay attention, do your homework, look at things like that. Be mindful. Be mindful what you're giving your children. Be mindful of just your family, what you're putting into your body. All of these things matter. Stay away from the processed food. It is no good. If it has more than six ingredients in it, and ingredients you can't even pronounce, you shouldn't be eating it. Don't do that. Just get you some whole foods. You got a sweet tooth, get you some fruit, throw some grapes in the freezer, blueberries, freeze them, and that's going to be sweet. Get you some dates with your coffee and tea. Don't do the artificial sweeteners. Get you some date syrup or some coconut syrup, something like that, and put in there, and just be mindful. And I just want to share these things with you because it's so so important. And I just want us all to live a good life, an abundant life, while we're here on this earth for this short time. Live abundant life, and be good to yourself, be good to your body, and treat yourself. Put good things in, you go get good things out. Okay? I just don't want anyone to end up on this path that I'm on at this time. Um, but I'm doing the best that I can. People say, "What you do?" I do the best that I can, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm living my life, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm going to stop that here, and I'll pick up more interesting things on our next episode. But until we meet again, thank you for joining. I hope this was a good investment of your time. And I'll see you on the next one. Okay? Smooches.